JENNCASCELL here. I am back with another design team project share and tutorial for Scrap Diva Designs. Before we get started, here is the website and all of the info on the back. Make sure to use that hashtag Scrap Diva Designs for some amazing inspiration. And if I've inspired you in any way, please feel free to use coupon code JEN10 to save 10% at the shop. I do get a small kickback and it helps me continue to create free content for you guys. So let's dive in. Today I am going to be showing you the tutorial for the Gingerbread Shaker box that I created using the Gingerbread Shaker die set, part of the October release over at Scrap Diva Designs. So here is my original here, and I did a fun pom-pom trim on this one. Some cute floral clusters. The sugar and spice is from the Gingerbread Words collection that came out, or the die set that came out. For this one, I did use Photo Play's Sugar Plum Christmas that came out last year. We've got him holding this cute little Peppermint Lollipop. The bow is also from that set. Some floral clusters, just super, super cute. Really generously sized box too. The die set itself is almost 7 inches, like say 6.5, and then about 5 inches wide. So, and the box stands about 2 inches tall. So you've got yourself a really generously sized box. You could do obviously a gift at the holidays, perfect for Happy Meal. You could even throw some cookies in here because it's definitely a bigger box. And just make sure that you put a little wax paper in the bottom, and that would be fine. And then this is the one that I'm going to be showing you today. I left out the pom-pom trim just so you could see it a little better. I didn't do the snow on this one yet. I may before I do my photography for it. I'm not really sure. I did use the Gingerbread Christmas collection that's available now at the shop. Really, really cute. Did this fun little banner, some floral clusters. The bow does come with the die set. I mean, look at those little eyes. They're absolutely adorable. I did use, my cardstock is Encore from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. Really, really cute. Love, love, love. So if you're interested in a tutorial, stay tuned. All right, we're going to start with the main base of our box, and I'm going to go through the die and the components that you need. So first off, we are using, these are the box making strips. I will link them in the description box. This actually comes with 4 different dies. You are using the largest of the 2 die strips. These die strips are going to be 2.5 inches across, 3 if you include the tabs on them. You definitely want the thicker one for this, and you need 2 of them, all right? I did use a double-sided cardstock for it this time around, and the first one I did 110-pound cardstock. I would suggest actually going for somewhere between an 80 to 90-pound cardstock for this. I am using the new Gingerbread Christmas collection from Scrap Diva Designs. In addition to your box making strips, you're going to need several layers of the gingerbread itself. So starting with the shaker layer right here, I've cut this in the tan color. This is actually brown sugar from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. I do have an affiliate link in the description box. I have been using Encore paper for quite some time now, since Joann's closed, and I've kind of lost my basil source. Although 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop does have basil, I actually prefer their Encore line. I think it cuts beautifully, and if you haven't tried it, give it a try. In addition to this, I've already put together, this is an acetate layer, and like I said, I've put it together, but you'll need it, this is the larger of the 2 gingies on the other side. These 2 together are going to make this, and you can go ahead and put those together. I've also added another of the 110, this time I did use 110-pound cardstock. I just wanted a nice sturdy base to this. So I, once again, used the shaker. Now, if you're going to make this an actual shaker, you're going to want a second layer of acetate to put on here. And you can also use either foam strips to make your shaker compartment, or you could run this die through on foam and then use that as your shaker. But I think it's a little overkill for the project that I'm doing right now, so maybe we'll do it once we get the box together. I don't know. Next up, we have these two back pieces. So once again, I am going to take this one, and now I'm using the smaller of the gingies. So this is going to fit just like this, and I've cut it out of 110-pound cardstock, and then I added a pattern paper layer. These are actually going to get put together like this when we're done. So one side is going to be the back of your box, and this is going to be the side that you see through once you've added your box top to it. And of course you can go ahead and glue these together like so. Also, you will need, this is the shorter of the box making strips. Once again, this is the one that measures 3 inches in width. You are actually going to want one of these too, and we're going to use those as a pad. All right, so grab your paper trimmer, and you're going to want to take the first of your box strips, and at the line, like where the tabs start, so right here, you're going to line that up right at the 1 inch mark. So make sure that everything is nice and even. It's really, really important that we make sure that this is right where it should be lining right up. Then go ahead and trim. This is going to give you a 1 inch strip for the top, and then a 1.5 inch strip for the bottom. And you're going to repeat on this end. So once again, line that right up at the 1 inch mark, and then go ahead and trim. It's very, very important that you get this part even, otherwise your box is going to be a little wonky. And now I am going to bring over, this is going to be the side of my box that you see when you look through. All right, and I'm going to grab my 1.5 inch paper strips. Make sure that you're folding over these tabs. I've already kind of pre-scored mine, so I'm just doing this. And use your bone folder to really press that down. Once my tabs are scored, I'm going to go in with my bone folder and just curve it a little bit. And I'll do the exact same thing to this one here. Just kind of start to break down that paper a little bit. Starting at the flat end, and I'm starting right where the legs meet. So the crotch. Can I say that on YouTube? I don't know. Let's see if I get banned. Who knows? Grab your liquid glue. I actually have my hot glue gun on for this too. And I'm going to do a couple of tabs. I don't like to do a whole lot of hot glue when I am doing these kind of projects, because it adds bulkiness that I don't really want. But if you're having trouble, there's no shame in your game in grabbing that hot glue gun and making sure these tabs are down, because I would rather have a little bit of bulkiness in the area than not have my tabs stick properly. So think about it like that. I know some of these party girls that I hang out with for XOXO, they do their entire projects in hot glue. How they do it, I have no idea, but more power to you. If you can get it to look good with hot glue, go for it. But I can't. I don't really like it. So once again, I'm just doing quite a few tabs, and I'm following that line, and then go in, really make sure those tabs are glued down. I'm getting to the first parts of my curve, right? So it's gonna jet up right at this mark. So I'm gonna fold that over right at that tab. Make sure that everything is lined up nice and straight when you fold over. And then I'm going to go ahead and add glue to a couple of tabs. I'm going to do these 2 tabs here and then 2 tabs on the opposite side of my fold. Okay, and then I'll just use my fingers for the moment to make sure that that is pressed down, and then I'll flip it over and go ahead and use my bone folder to really press it down. Once I'm confident that glue is dry and it's not going anywhere, I'll go ahead and add glue to a couple more tabs. Okay, once again, we're coming up to a curvature right here. It's actually going to hit right in the middle of a tab. So if it's hitting the middle of a tab, I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut that tab right in half. All right. And then once again, when I have my tab cut in half, that is where I know I have to do my fold. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this back, making sure everything is lined up right at that half tab that I cut. That is what you should have at this point. Now, once again, start adding your glue, and I'm going to add glue to all the tabs around the one that I just cut. This will just give you a little bit of added stability as you go around that curve. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it and use my bone folder to really press it down. Now, before I go too much further, I'm going to get my next strip out, go ahead and add it to this tab. That is why I did not fold this tab inward. I wanted it to be a nice smooth transition to my next. And once again, you can start adding glue to your tabs. And I'm gonna go right up to where I added my new strip. Flip it over. Make sure that that is going right along the top of the head for this. So I'm just gonna kind of measure and see where my next fold is gonna be on my head here. And it's just going to hit this tab right here. So I'm using my fingernail to kind of mark it. And once again, flipping that tab over and making that fold. Okay. And I'm going to add glue to all of my tabs because this is a pretty easy curve. We don't have too much going on in this area. It's just one long continuous curve. I feel fairly confident that I can get all of these tabs done and have it dry nicely. Before gluing anything down, I just want to make sure that I know where my tab is going to go. Looks like I can get it to fold pretty well right here. So once again, flip and pinch, give it a nice crease. Go ahead and start adding your glue to your tabs right up to that fold. And then I'm actually gonna go just a couple on the other side of the folds. Okay, now from my short tabs, box strip, I've cut 5. You can use the tip, like this tab right here, but you can also use that for the other side because we're going to use that as a patch. Now, if you're using the end that does not have a tab, you're going to want to create one of your own. So I just went ahead and folded it just like this. And then I'm going to fold my tabs in really quick. Make sure that I have it down with a bone folder. Same thing, I'm going to take the time to do this tab right here. And then create my own tab by just bringing those tabs inward, just like this. Okay, go ahead and add some glue to your patch. Okay, and then you can go ahead and add glue to the rest of your tabs. You're also going to want to add glue to this side right here. Wrap it around, create your patch. And then just make sure that all of your tabs are nice and tight. Okay, we have the base of our box completed. Go ahead, set this aside, let it cure for a moment, and we're gonna start working on the top of our box. So once again, I'm gonna grab my bone folder, really start to curve that paper and break it down a little bit. And starting at the crotch, I'm gonna just do a couple tabs. So I have just a few tabs started. And once again, really pinching that down to make sure those are nice and tight. I know that my tab is going to hit right about here. So once again, I'm just gonna fold that inward, pinch. Just gonna do a couple because once again, I wanna measure to see where my next fold is gonna be. Again, figure out where this is gonna go, and it's gonna go about midway once again in my tab. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that. And once again, line up that fold. Add some glue to this outer edge tab right here and add my next strip. Once you're confident that that is dry, you can go ahead and add a bunch of glue. I'm going to do quite a few of these tabs, at least to where my new strip is, if not a little further along. So I'm going to measure again to see where my next fold is going to go. And I'm just continuing to go around, making sure my tabs are pressed right up against this arm. All right, so I went ahead and attached my patch that's coming up, and then I'm gonna add some glue to my tabs and just start bringing that around this last leg. Okay. And then I've cut 6 tabs to be saved, left an extra tab on the end, so 7, just to make sure that I have enough to go all the way around, which I do. And I'm gonna go ahead and make another tab right at that fold. Add some glue to all the tabs and finish up my piece. Okay, so this is what you should have at the moment. Make sure all of your tabs are down. If you need to, throw some more glue on there, hot glue, whatever it may be. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure my little guy fits on top, which it does. I'm gonna add this to the back first. I'm just using quite a bit of liquid glue for this. You could use hot glue, you could use whatever you want. I do like my Barely Art for this. Okay, and then I'll flip over, and now I'm going to add my gingerbread to the top. And once again, I'm using quite a bit of glue on this. I am gonna go over it just so that it's nice and tacky with silicone spreader. That's the secret to acetate. You want things tacky, but not wet when you're dealing with acetate. If it's too wet, it's going to move all over the place on you, which is exactly what you don't want to happen. And by leaving it nice and tacky and spreading that glue around, you're going to get great adhesion without swear words. So I'm grabbing that silicone brush, running it over. Okay, so through the magic of YouTube, everything is dry, and I'm going to go ahead and add my little gingy top here. And I just once again used 110-pound cardstock for this. I'm going to go ahead and add that right at the top. And also, I have, so these are my eyes that I've cut out, and I'll show you. So all right, so you do get a lot of extras with this die set. So your eyes are going to be attached to this right here. Now, to do my eyes, all I did was cut it out of black and blue cardstock. And then I just went ahead and added the black right over the blue and used a piece of tape to hold everything together. And then I glued on the opposite side as well. And I did that for both of them, obviously. And then you also have, so you've got this little mistletoe or holly leaf right here. Now you can go ahead and use it as holly. I cut two of them together and made a flower. Looking cute. And this is actually the center of your bow. Or you could cut a strip of paper for the center of your bow. It's totally up to you. So you get these two bows right here that are absolutely adorable. They're a nice layered bow. You get a small and a large. The small one is going to be about 1.5 inches across. Your large one is going to be 2 inches across when it is finished. And all you have to do is bring these tabs inward to the center to create your bow. Then I added my faux poinsettia with my holly leaves. And then you also get, let me see. Oh, you get some buttons here too. And that's what these buttons look like when they're cut out. So super cute. And then, oh, you do have a nose or a mouth with this as well. And you could even use the buttons as a nose. That could be really cute. So I'm going to play and see what I come up with, and I will be right back. All right, so I have it finished. Super, super cute. I ended up doing a little banner along the bottom. This is the original banner that Scrap Diva came out with. I will link it in the description box for you as well. And then I did some of the ephemera from the Gingerbread Christmas collection and a few handmade flowers. I did a little cluster up here with some holly leaves. These are from the Santa Mini Album 2, as well as a little snowflake and pine sprig. Just really, really cute. I love it. Absolutely love how it turned out. So cute. And let's give you another look at my original with the pom-pom trim that went around. Here's the back of that. So cute. The sugar and spice is from the Gingerbread Words that came out. It's got one of those little lollipops, a little floral cluster, your bow at the top. And that one I did use the holly leaves as they should, you know, originally have been. And I added some holly leaves down here as well. Just really, really cute. Adorable. So make sure to head on over to Scrap Diva Designs and check out the Gingerbread Shaker set. I absolutely love it. I hope you do too. And if I've inspired you in any way, please feel free to use coupon code JEN10 to save. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more crafty content. I'll see you in the next crafty video. Bye.